Business Day, Oyinye talked about extra measures to close the gap between the interbank and parallel market. I think, let me first of all, she's asking whether we can. Naturally, what we will try from time to time is to make more foreign exchange available within our own within limits of available resources to those sectors that we consider priority sectors. And so we'll continue to do that, and hoping that as we increasingly do that, the urge for people to go to what I regard as illegal markets, I think hopefully will reduce. And I want to assure people that we would increasingly allocate or direct FX resources to those very, very important sectors of the economy. But I think it's important at this stage, I must not gloss over some of the things I've heard in the press regarding some multiple exchange rates and the rest of them. I've heard about budget rate. I've heard about parallel market and black market. I've heard about airline rates. I've heard about pilgrim rates and the rest of them. It's unfortunate and unfair that some of those that we've read discussing these issues are those who have, I will use the word, direct access to the Central Bank of Nigeria. And what we would have expected is that they would talk to us. But I know they know. But of course, the objective that they are pursuing is best known to them. Budget rate is a rate, I use the word forecast rate. And it has, forecast rate or budget rate has always been there from history. And it is a rate that is used just to determine the budget, and like you heard, the budget is a forecast. It is tentative. So I cannot understand why people are using budget rates as a basis to say that is an exchange rate in the market. The parallel and BCC market rate, as far as I'm concerned, is one rate, and I don't understand even the duplicity about the rate. We seized the opportunity when the issue of the pilgrims rate came up last year to explain what happened. And I keep saying that you must put yourself in the position of a businessman where you have struck a deal, that this is the rate at which you will do a deal. But because the conditions are now against you, you now go back and begin to change the conditions. That is an unfair business practice. I repeat, what happened was that sometime around March of last year, the Pilgrims Commission, both Christian and Muslim, approached the central bank, and at that time the rate was 197, and that was the market rate at that time. The people who were going on pilgrimage started to make payment at the rate of 197 to the dollar. They made their full payment in advance of the pilgrimage. They now want to embark on the pilgrimage sometime in July and August. Then somebody says, oh, because market has moved, they should pay 300, or as the case may be, whatever rate it was. That would have, on the part of central bank, been seen to be an unfair business practice. Just like if the rate had gone down, would we also go to them in the same direction? So it is important for people not to just play to the gallery and begin to, they know what they are doing, they know what they are saying, but I say their motive should be best known to them. I've heard about airline and fuel import rates. It is untrue. These are all rates that operate within the interbank segment of the market, and they operate within a range. So I thought it's important for me to address that because I've heard so many comments regarding these rates, and I hope and pray and beg those who are out there fomenting these bad stories in order to present the monetary authorities in bad light to please assist us. If they have questions, they should please approach us, and we will respond as appropriate. Bloomberg talked about FX policy. Government about that the government was talking to the central bank to change the FX policy. The foreign exchange policy right now, we are operating since June the 20th, a flexible foreign exchange market. And like I said, that document remains a sound document. But of course, one way or the other, there may be a few issues, a few fine-tuning that has to be made in terms of the implementation strategies. And we'll look at it from time to time. But I'd like to say that there is nothing wrong with that document, and there is nothing wrong with what the central bank is doing at this time to stabilize the exchange rate and see to it that the currency stabilizes at a rate that we consider to be in line with any model that anybody wants to use to determine the price or the value of our currency. That is what we're doing. And we will continue to stand by it. We will continue to assure those who are doing their businesses that as you require foreign exchange, we will continue to support you, and there is no need for anyone to panic. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor. So on the question on the Uncle Boras program. And textile.
Well, on the textile, yes, we said that about 50 billion naira will be set aside to sort of help or assist in revamping some of the textile industries. We've started to disburse them. We've not quite disbursed everything, but I know that in the 80s and even up to the early 90s, the textile industry used to be the second largest employer of labor in Nigeria after the public sector. We would continue to give our support even to textile industry themselves, because we want to see the textile industry grow and indeed even blossom. In today's world, where we are all confronted with the issues of bilateralism and trade practices and the rest of them, I think it's important, and I mean, people are talking today about jobs for their people, jobs for the people in their country. I think that it's about time we all started to now look more at even some of those sectors that used to create jobs for this country, so that we begin to see more of our young graduates begin to factories or go to companies to work as graduates rather than being on the streets as unemployed persons. Thank you.
Yeah, it remains for me to thank everyone who has come and to say we'll see you again in March. Thank you.